Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 217 of the NZXT podcast, the official podcast of the NZXT community. This podcast is recorded live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the official NZXT Twitch. It is available to stream on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. My name is Mike Kim, and before I introduce our very, very special guest, I want to throw out that we are doing a giveaway. I know a lot of people are in here right now for the giveaway. Thanks to our lovely friends at Intel. You guys have helped sponsored. Oh yeah, look at that. Our very lovely friends at Intel have been gracious enough to help sponsor our club. And basically, you go to nzxt.co/club. Or exclamation point club in chat if you're watching live. You guys can go ahead and do quests to earn Poochie points, and these Poochie points basically get you entries into the giveaway. You can earn plushies. You can see Poochie right here and Chippy right here, right there. You can see you can get them shirts, hoodies, and a monthly PC giveaway. It's a Player One Prime PC, and you can choose your choice of white and black, so you guys can choose that. So please go ahead and go to nzxt.co/club. And for today, we're also giving away a Intel hoodie, a shirt, and an Intel mouse pad. It is for US only right now, but we are going to be giving out global soon. We're dealing with the terrorist attacks, guys, so you guys have to be a little patient. So please, I'm sorry. So let me go ahead and and also please stay to the end of the stream, because I'll be giving out a secret code that gives I think 1,000 extra entries into the giveaway. It's my way of holding you guys hostage for an hour. That's basically it. So let me go ahead and introduce our special guest. Introducing one of the most technical and cinematic voices in the custom PC and hardware world today. While he was at UC Davis, he was focusing on two things: mastering his business degree and mastering the business of the creator and TikTok economy. He may have lost a tooth because of a scooter, but he has not lost his ability to deliver high quality content. Everyone here, please give a warm welcome to TonyTechBytes. Tony, can you please introduce yourself to our audience and tell us what you're all about?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tony. Go under the username TonyTechBytes. I make videos about consumer tech like PC builds, laptops, desk setups, that sort of thing. And super happy to be here today.
Yeah. So again, we had John on the podcast a little while ago, and you are gonna be you're basically one of the old pioneers of like tech talk. Like you were one of the first. So we're gonna really go into your experience as a content creator. And for those that are here, this is how you get free stuff. But it's not as glorious as it may seem, right? Like there's not like, oh yeah, you get free stuff and that's it. Like you have to work for it. So first, we'll do a little dive in the past to like who you were as a child and how you got into gaming and tech in general. So like, first of all, how did you get into gaming in general? And was there like a person in your life that got you into it, or was there a game that got you into it?
Yeah, so I got into gaming a long time ago when I was super young. I don't know if anyone remembers these like early 2000s games, but I think it was like Freddy Fish on the PC that my cousins played.
So familiar.
It was from like 1998, I think. And yeah, it was basically just this animated fish that would do adventures, or I don't remember, but I would watch my cousins play on the family PC, and I got hooked from there when I was super young. And they also played another game called MapleStory, which was this 2D side scroller where you have to grind, like defeat monsters, go on quests and stuff. And I was very addicted to that as a kid. I actually have this really funny story where my Asian parents would limit my screen time, and they wanted to reward me with like MapleStory time by forcing me to practice my multiplication table. So it'd be like, if I remember one of the multiplication rows, like the 2s or the 3s or whatever, they would give me like an extra hour of playtime.
Wow, that's smart. That's so smart.
That actually helped my math skills when I was like in kindergarten and first grade, because I was doing like multiplication when it was still like addition, subtraction. So,
Wow.
and yeah, rewarded me with like computer time, which is super funny. And I think that's actually a good way to parent, though, like reward them.
Honestly, that's actually really smart because if I was a kid and like I was doing schoolwork and they're like, "Hey, if you do your homework before 6 p.m., you can go and like they rewarded me with TV, but I feel like if they rewarded me with video games, that would have been so much
Yeah.
more fun. Gosh, I love that. So, you played Maple Story and you played Freddy Fish. Were there any other games that were like a part of your childhood as you grew up?
Yeah, I switched to mobile gaming when I got an iPod Touch 4 and I was playing a lot of Minecraft Pocket Edition, the early like COD mobile games that they weren't that good, but I was playing a lot of that. I I played on my cousin's PS3 and other consoles like the Wii, and then we had a Wii too. But I didn't really get into console or PC gaming until a bit later with the PS4.
Oh, what got you into like console gaming?
Yeah, I think it was around like 2015. I was watching a lot of COD videos. This was like a little after Black Ops 2 and then before Black Ops 3. I really wanted a PS4. I wanted to like game. I wanted to play first person shooter games, but at a experience that's better than mobile. Because I mean, on an iPod Touch, like the graphics can only be so good, and that thing would crash so
Ooh.
often whenever I played games. So I wanted a PS4, and then I had to ask my parents for it, and I was like, get good grades, and then you get a PS4. So that was how we made that work. And yeah, I was playing a ton of COD on that too.
Do you remember like your introduction into PC gaming? Do you remember the specs of that PC?
Yeah, I actually just posted a video of my first PC. I was stitching this guy on TikTok who was saying like your first PC is such a peak experience because going from like mobile and console gaming to PC is completely unmatched. This was back in 2018. I was addicted to Fortnite. Funnily
Oh,
enough, I was playing so much Fortnite, and I saw my brother playing, and he was telling me so much about it. He was like, "It's just like Minecraft, like you're building, but it's also like a bit of like other shooter games because you're fighting other people." And I was like, "That sounds amazing! Like I want to build and fight other people." So I was playing on a Surface Pro 4, like tablet laptop hybrid. And this goes back to the trend of like just weak specs that I had. And I was like, I'm sick of this. Like I want better performance. So I was thinking of actually getting a PC from NZXT because my cousin was like, you should just buy it because he didn't want to like walk through the entire process to teach me. He was like, bro, this is gonna take so long. Like you're gonna have to research all of this. And then the turning point was he called me out and he was like, "Can you call yourself a tech YouTuber if you don't know how to build a PC?" And I was like, "Oh, you got a point there." And I was like, "I got to learn how to build one." So at that point, I was making a lot of like smartphone and other types of tech videos, and I was like, "Okay, let me dive into PC building." And I was watching a ton of YouTube videos from Ed from TechSource, and I decided to jump the gun because I had a summer job as a camp counselor. So I saved up money that summer in 2018. Spent about 900 to $1,000 on the NZXT 500. That
oh
that was a nice
yeah.
case. It was like a MSI black and red motherboard. The Ryzen 5 2600, a GTX 1060 3 GB version. I think I had like 16 gigabytes of 2400 megahertz DDR4 RAM. Uh, I think I had a 128 gigabyte SATA SSD with Windows, and then a 2 terabyte hard drive. So this was like before M.2 SSDs were becoming mainstream. And yeah, I mean that PC performed pretty well for Fortnite. It was good at the time, but looking back, it looked so ugly because I had like a black and white case and then a black and red motherboard, like RAM that wasn't even RGB. I had a spinning hard drive in there, and Yeah, I didn't know anything about like cable management, about like color schemes and stuff, but yeah, that was what got me started.
Miko Ant in the chat actually made a really good point. I think almost every PC gamer has experienced it, and I know for sure you experience it. Is like being a Mac user your entire life, right? Like you've only had like Macs or like very slow computers, and then all of a sudden, like you built this first PC. No matter how like ugly it is like the world, just like you could start seeing the world and from like 2D to 3D, like it's just this whole new world has opened up. And I think you really realize you're like, wow, this is so much like more than just like, oh, my little mobile games and everything.
Yeah. And I mean, I just love the hobby. It's so much fun because you get to customize it, like the performance, the aesthetics, and I'm really glad I actually jumped through this it's like wormhole of PC building.
So you were really into like, you know, gaming and then PCs and tech and stuff like that. We're gonna go kind of do a little deep dive into like the beginning of your content creation thing. I do have videos for you of your first videos. I did a little bit of research on you. So first of all, what like inspired you to start content creation in general?
So I guess what started content creation in general, well, this was back when I got that PS4. I was gaming a ton. And I was watching a lot of like gaming and tech YouTube videos, and there's this one creator, Justin C. He's a Canadian tech YouTuber. Does a lot of like phones, mobile tech, travel tech as well, and I was really inspired by his content. He's like, he started super young. I think he also started when he was like 12, 13, or 14. He was like very OG tech YouTube. Also started with like an iPod Touch. And I was watching some of his older videos and I was like, dang, if he could do it, I could do it. And, you know, I looked at other icons like Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. He started way back when he was like a squeaker and he was like filming videos in his college dorm too. And I was like, dang, like I love tech. I want to also share that with my audience too. And my friend Ken and I, when we were in middle school, we'd talk about like tech releases every day in homeroom right before like classes started. And we'd be like, no, Apple did this or this company did that or like this company's better. We'd like argue specs and stuff and super nerdy discussions. And yeah, I was inspired by those tech YouTubers to just pick up a camera and just try it out myself. And Ken was a photographer and he also had a camera too. So I figured I'd join forces with him to learn how to make content and just give it a shot.
I'm glad you brought up Ken and, you know, starting it up, because I do have the first ever video that you guys posted on your YouTube channel.
Oh god.
Wow, you look so young. How old were you? This was December of 2016.
Yeah, I was 14.
Wow.
At that time.
I love these things. Like I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm just curious to see like their first videos.
Hey guys, welcome to TonyTechBytes.
I'm just showing them the first video.
And in this channel, we'll be posting many videos about
I cringe every time I hear that voice or see those videos.
You might be wondering.
But I want to keep them up though, just for moments like this.
You shouldn't be embarrassed by it.
The reason for this is we always strive for deals, bundles, and we save our money.
You guys look so young, and you know what I love is that you guys have like a little. And honestly, this is like huge in 2016, having 2 monitors behind you guys.
It was a killer Black Friday deal for like 1080p 60 hertz monitors.
I'm glad you're deciding to keep, because a lot of people tend to like get rid of it. They're like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. But like honestly, I feel like it's a relic of the past to have that. So gosh, you started this channel when you just began basically high school. Oh, Donnie said W Tony. What's up, Donnie? How you doing? So you started this channel in 2016, and then you also like TikTok came around 2019 or something like that. It was like towards your end of your high school, right? And you obviously, as you're starting this like content creation journey, you also went to college, which
Mhm.
is tough, right? Like you're like, hey, I'm in college. That's your next, step in your life, and all of a sudden you're still
Mhm.
trying to do content creation. So how hard was it to like balance college and this idea of like you want to be content creation?
Mhm. No, yeah. I mean, it was super tough balancing college with content creation. And I know plenty of people who are like very, I guess, one sided about this topic. I've talked to creators and other adults who've like graduated college and been in the workforce already. I've gotten so many conflicting answers. And before I was considering it, I was just asking around to see like, like, what do you think? And so I've gotten responses of like, well, you can do both. Like, you can be a student and a creator, which completely valid, of course. And like, there are people who do this who like are college students and creators. There are people who work 9 to 5s and creators. And then I've had the flip side of things where it's like, you have a good thing as a content creator going. You have momentum. You should focus on that. It's already making you money. It's like a cash cow. I should grow this, and then worst case scenario, you're 30 years old. You don't want to make content anymore. Go back to college. And so I was juggling these two decisions in my mind, and then like the pressure from my Asian parents. They're like, you got to go. And I remember I was streaming like PC builds on Twitch back in a few years ago, and I was asking Chad, I was like, do you guys think I should go? Like, that'll mean fewer content, like fewer streams and stuff. And well, ultimately, like I weighed the pros and cons because I was doing online community college, and that really gave me the flexibility to stay at home and make content and grind on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. And I was like, I'm already like going through community college. I might as well like just finish up with a regular like undergrad degree. So I transferred over to UC Davis in California, studied economics, and in back in 2023, and I decided to put sort of a pause on content, because well, like you, Mike, uh, except I was doing like the college track, or I mean the high school track in early 2020. I wasn't able to walk on stage too. I wasn't able to like do normal early 20 something year old things like interact with peers, study with other people, make friends, just live a normal life. So I was like, I kind of want to just be a normal student for the last like couple years that I can actually do this, and then like actually get an education, learn something useful. Even if I'm not going to work a 9 to 5, like just gain skills that could translate to content creation and other endeavors. So I put my head down as a college student, and I was like, I'm gonna still make content, but at a less consistent basis, just so I can focus on being a student and being present in my studies. And like, I made a ton of friends. I had this really fun story in college where I joined the interior design club, and
Oh,
what was it? My dorm was super bland, and I was like, I want to find like 5 students to just help revamp my room, and would you guys like want to do it for video? And like they all said yes, and it ended up turning out really well. Like got to meet students in different majors across different disciplines, and this is something that like you wouldn't be exposed to unless you actually went to college and sought out people in engineering and business and design, to expose yourself to like different fields. So
hmm.
that was another reason why I wanted to do it too, to just meet other people and do other things. And let's see, I still posted occasionally when I was in college. I didn't have enough time to really be super consistent, but I don't regret it looking back because of the memories, the people I've met, and the education, of course, too.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question. Is like, did you ever like looking back, like, did you think like, man, maybe I should have just like gone 100% into it? Do you regret not quit? So I guess you're like, you know what? I'm happy that you finished school, basically. That was
Mhm.
your thought process.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I look back sometimes and I think like, dang, if I didn't go, like I could have had more money or views. And I'm like, okay, like more money or views, like that's awesome, but like what about the intangible stuff that like you can't put a price on, you know, like friendships, relationships, dating, like education too? Because I mean, studying economics allowed me to study making better decisions, like corporate finance and stuff, which I mean,
Mm.
sure, I don't live in a spreadsheet every day, but it's allowed me to make better decisions on things like, should I buy this PC, or should I buy parts now during the RAM crisis, or should I wait? Um, and just I feel like it's also allowed me to mature a lot too. Just being able to I guess learn different topics and grow as an individual.
I think that's you know, I I understand the idea that like, oh, college is useless, you know, it's you're
Hmm.
paying so much money and then you're being debt. But that's where I have to also kind of put my foot down and be like you said, there are, I think that's the thing about college is like, you're not there to just like, yeah, you're there to learn. But I think there's a lot of, like you said, intangibles that come with college
Hmm.
that a lot of people don't realize, which is like, you know, you have a deadline, you have a schedule, you have to work with people, you have like, you know, like a capstone where it's like, oh, you have to work with people and you will deal with people that don't pull their weight. How do you deal with
Yep.
that? Or doing with homework and stuff like that is basically like doing work. And you know, when you go home, you can't just go, okay, I'm done. Like you have to think like, oh, I may have to do extra work. There are a lot of things that people are like, oh, college is useless. But I kind of I'm on the line with you. It's like there's a lot of like little things that college does that people don't realize is like, wow. So were you very happy that you're like, you know what? I'm happy that, you know, in case this content creation doesn't work out, I have something to fall back on.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, I did also want something to just fall back on, just in case content creation didn't work out, or even just in the future. Like I said, for the example, when I turn 30 years old, like what if I don't want to make videos when I'm that age anymore? What if I want to settle down or have a desk job, or I don't know, things could change in the future. And I also realized too that life is long. And, you know, like a few years in my 20s, giving that up for a future of, I don't know, hopefully like many decades, I think it was worth the investment because I don't want to be like, you know, 80 years old and thinking like, dang, what if I would have went back to when I was in my early 20s and actually hung around with normal students and kids and learned and you know, so I didn't want to have that regret looming over me.
I think I think that's something good for people to know. Like, yes, you should follow your dreams and do that stuff, but also be understanding that in case you have to have something in the backup that
Yeah,
you have in a
yeah.
tank, which is good.
Hmm.
So we're gonna kind of go through like your content creation journey. You know, you're doing a bunch of unboxings. Like I pulled up like your first video that you ever made, and it was like let me see if I can pull it up. Actually, it is a setup thing that you have. Oh, look how young you look here. So let me pull it up. So it's cool LED strip alternatives. So like look at you have like this LED strip that can change colors and everything like that. And you started going fully into tech content creation, like, you know, my build, you know, how to build in a PC, how to do unboxings, or you know, bringing out certain tech, and like this will help improve your setup. So like, can you give me that like specific timeline of like when you threw that first video to like now? Has that changed at all, or is that mindset of I like tech and I want to show people like what cool tech they can add to their setup?
Hmm. Well, I think a lot of things have definitely changed. Well, maturing, like getting to being an adult and having like adult expenses and other responsibilities have definitely changed my viewpoint on content. It's still, I guess, guided by the underlying principle of I want to share my passion of tech with my audience and with the world. And I usually like to have this framework where I want to educate, entertain, and inspire my audience. And whenever it comes to creating content, if I can do two of those three things, it's a good video. If I can do all three, then I think that's a banger video. So I want to educate. Obviously, I want to teach people about specs or how to build a PC and the basics of consumer tech. I want to also entertain people. Like I don't want to be lecturing people on camera. So when it comes to short form content, I want to be super energetic, like pumped, high energy for unboxings and reviews and stuff. And um, I do also want to like crack jokes and be a funny person, not to just like read specs of a spec sheet that you can just pull up online, and then also inspire. And this comes in many forms, like inspiring people to build their first PC or to get into this hobby too. And it's such a rewarding, I guess, career to be a content creator. Um, I'm blanking. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, this is hard. I'm not super experienced in streaming. Just chat for reference. But yeah, I've learned so much throughout the journey.
Was there a specific moment during your journey that you're like, oh my God, this is no longer just like a side project. Like I could make this my living. Was there a specific moment in your career that like you thought, this is it? Like I'm gonna make this my career?
Yeah, so I started TikTok in 2019, and I noticed back then like there weren't many tech creators because it was just a dancing app still at that point. It was like a ton of trends, a lot of meme audios, and my brother was scrolling on TikTok relentlessly, and I remember seeing all the YouTube ads for TikTok, and I was like, this sounds like such a stupid app. Like I'm never gonna download it. And then I finally caved in. Like it was funny. I got hooked in the For You page, and I was like, I was making videos on YouTube. They weren't really getting traction, and I was stuck at like a few hundred subscribers. And so I was like, might as well give TikTok a shot. And so I filmed a few short form videos in 2019, a few rage baity ones too, like 5 reasons iPhones are better than Android phones, and those really popped off. Like they got a few 100,000 views in the first few hours, but they still led nowhere. Like I still had a couple hundred followers on TikTok, didn't really have consistent viewers. And so during the lockdown in March of 2020, I was posting consistently because I had nothing better to do, and just um, I was posting PC build guides, and I remember people commenting like, "Oh, how do I build a PC? Like, I want to know how to build a PC." And I'd always comment like, "You can just go on YouTube, bro. Like, just pull up a YouTube tutorial. Like, why would you ask on TikTok?" And so, like, I kept getting pressured to do it, and I was like, "Okay, let me just post a whole guide on TikTok." And so, within the span of 2 days in 2020, I posted 45 videos on how to build a PC, like step by step. And I was like, you plug in this cable, you lift the CPU like this and put it in the socket, and like every single step. And that blew me up from 10K to 60K followers in 2 days. And I'd say that was the most pivotal moment that this could actually be something, because it just happened so quick. And I mean, I got so addicted to the content creation process, to helping people online, to responding to comments like, "Oh, my PC's overheating. How do I fix this?" Or my GPU's laggy. How do I? Or my games are laggy. Like, how do I increase my frame rate? And this is how to install things. So um, that was the most fun part, honestly, during the pandemic.
So you talked a little bit about it. Like you posted 45 videos on how to do that, and you're posting many times, sometimes multiple times a day, correct? Like you're doing that. Did you experience like burnout at all? Like, I mean, I'm thinking about it. If you told me to do this one thing multiple times a day for what now? 6 to 7 years now. Oh God, I said 6, 7. Like I feel like you go crazy, right? Did you ever experience burnout at all? And you're like, I'm tired of this.
So in the beginning, I did not experience any burnout whatsoever. I was so passionate about the topic, and during the pandemic, like everyone was locked in, so there was nothing really else to do, and it was kind of my escape from the world because I was able to interact with my audience, like respond to comments, just learn about PC building online, and then also share that with my audience. So there wasn't really a point in the very early stages where I was feeling burnt out, but I'd say a few years in of doing it really consistently, I started to feel really burnt out because well, I was doing like online community college, and um, I don't know, I was like I wasn't doing normal things that brought me joy. My sole purpose was just creating content, and it was fun. Obviously, I was very passionate about it, but I didn't have balance in my life when it came to like other hobbies, school, like hanging out with friends, and doing other things that any young 20-something-year-old would do. I worked out often to relieve stress, but that was about it. It was like content creation, working out, and that was life for a couple years. And so to deal with burnout, I fixed my sleep schedule. I was like sleeping more consistently. Went to college in person, was hanging out with people in person, like trying to develop my social skills more. Like meet other people. And now that college is over, like I've learned that I think balance is super important when it comes to work, life balance. Um, I mean, I think working hard is incredibly important, especially for something that you're passionate about. And I'm a huge advocate for chasing your dreams, but also realizing that there's a point where like there's just too much, and um, trying to find like a middle point where you can actually do this sustainably.
You talked a little bit about that. I saw you in a PC mag. You wrote an article about, going through TikTok and everything like that. And you wrote, I'm constantly thinking about work. It's hard to draw a line between work and rest because I'm on TikTok, just casually watching content. I'm always thinking about how I can use my ideas on my page and incorporate them into my own content.
Mhm.
And I and I made a reference of it, but you had this video of you breaking a tooth on an electric scooter,
for the
like an electric
second time this
scooter.
week. There's literally no making this up. Scrape
Like,
my wrist.
you fell off a scooter twice, and then the second time you literally shattered a tooth. And in your head, you're like, "Oh man, I have to go to the dentist." Your first thought is, "I'm gonna make a video of this," right? Like that's awesome. I love that. But
Mhm.
do you ever feel like because you're always thinking about work, and you talk about like having that work-life balance, but you're always thinking about work, do you ever feel like that could get overwhelming at times?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think back to your point about like the whole idea of like free stuff and free PCs. It's like I think being a content creator or entrepreneur or any creative person, like it's really a double-edged sword because I guess my superpower is like being able to lock in and thinking like, dang, everything could be content. And that's absolutely something powerful that I think any content creator could have. Like being able to document anything in your life. When I fell off my scooter, I thought it would be a funny moment to share with my audience, and I figured like going on in future videos, my tooth would be, um, it would look different than in past videos, and I figured people would ask about it anyway, because I actually had broken that tooth back in middle school. I tripped on some stairs, and so the dentist glued the tooth back, and I always had this crack on the front tooth, and people would always comment like, "Oh, what's up with your front tooth?" And I was thinking like later down the line, as an adult, I'd get a crown or do something to it, but I was like, "Oh, it's not wasn't bothering me," so I didn't fix it. And then I broke down the scooter. I was like, maybe I could make this entertaining, like a PSA for electric scooters, and then also like an update to my audience. So like, hey, I got a new looking tooth, so you don't have to ask about it anymore. But yeah, so I think that it was a superpower, like being able to turn that experience into content. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, it's kind of always looming in the back of my head, like when I'm gaming, like, oh, I could be streaming games, or I could be benchmarking a PC right now and playing games while testing the new GPU or something. So it does kind of make it hard to rest sometimes if I'm like just watching a movie or eating dinner. I'm like, oh, I could be thinking of content ideas. But I like to draw a line when it comes to like the later half of the day, like when I'm done filming, editing, creating content. If I'm just cooking, eating dinner, or whatever, or relaxing, I just want to focus on relaxing. If I'm doom scrolling, then I want to intentionally doom scroll, not for the purpose of finding content ideas. But I mean, sometimes when I do find a funny hook, I'm like, oh, I can probably reuse that for my content too. Like I've seen some crazy stuff online, like the this guy like air fries like random stuff, and I'm like, I could use that like style in my sort of content. And I mentioned this to you, Mike, before, but I didn't tell this to my audience. But I mean, just being able to create like weird, funky TikTok ideas and infuse that into tech is also something I want to do more of. Because back in 2020, I cooked a bit of salami on top of my CPU's heat spreader, and I was inspired by like weird food creators that would air fry just everything and anything, and I was like, oh well, let me see if I can use the heat from my CPU to cook some food. And yeah, I mean the salami got crispy. I didn't eat it, but it somewhat worked.
I'm showing the video right now of
Mhm.
the salami. What made you go like but why the salami in general? You're like, you know what? I'm gonna cook the salami versus like, oh yeah, let me just test how hot it is. Like why the salami in general?
I think there was this meme going around where people are saying like, can cats have a bit of salami?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think I said in the video at one point, I was like, well, if cats can have salami, so can my CPU. And it got so much attention from people because they were like, what do you mean? Like, why are you cooking on a CPU? But I don't know, it was just it was a super fun video to make.
My gosh, I remember that exact meme. Cats can have a little salami or can have a little lami or something like that. I remember that
Mhm.
exact one. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised that you didn't eat it just for the content. I'm very surprised.
I should have. Should have just popped in my
Is a big part of your thing like you say having that hook is a large part of having that hook like you going, you know what can I rage bait my audience with? Like I you sent us another video or told us a video of you putting windshield washer fluid in a PC to water cool it. So like is a big part of your thing like, you know what, let's rage bait these guys a little bit.
Yeah, so I want to make videos really entertaining and engaging, and I love the idea of rage bait, but not for the point of like just angering people. Like I don't want to start fights on the internet. I also don't want to like just post garbage on the internet either. So I'd say the point of like doing really creative, fun stuff is to just get eyeballs, like to just get attention, to get people hooked on the video, and then to deliver like the message of the content. So in those water cooled videos, I would I was like pouring an empty like windshield washer fluid bottle into like the blue liquid cooled PC, and I was like, I liquid cooled this PC with windshield washer fluid, and then I would obviously I tell my audience like, oh, I'm just kidding. I poured like blue water cooling dye um inside the PC, and then I'd go through the specs of it. Like, oh, this PC actually has this, it has that. I wouldn't recommend windshield washer fluid. This is just distilled water with like dye in it, because otherwise you could like gunk it up and stuff. So I want to like be entertaining, engaging, and hook people in, but also like teach people about the PC and not like make content that's just for the sake of like making content to hook people in.
That's you know what? That's something that I tend to rage bait my audience for fun, but I like that your approach is like to educate. I do it for fun, and you know what? Maybe I should do what you do and like go for an education thing, because I just be like, oh yeah, here's a like one of the people in Discord server. He works in RMA, and he just like he has like old like they're basically scrap at that point, and he'll just like snap like a DDR3 RAM stick, but it's like 5 years ago, and he's like, hey, he posts this video, and there's no education. It's just him snapping a RAM stick, and I was like, funny, but I think I should go with your route, which is educate and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I mean, I think there's absolutely a time and place for just meme content, and I think like especially on TikTok with short form content, like some people do like to just laugh and not learn anything. I personally just want to like include value with my content that's funny and engaging, but I mean, I always love a funny like PC meme or people like flexing with RAM sticks or whatever.
Oh yeah, on their wrist, because it's like, oh gosh, we'll have a couple questions about the PC industry down the road. I know people in the comments are gonna be a little talking about that, so we'll get into that soon. You talked a little bit about like, you know, getting these hooks, it gets people engaged and get the views and everything like that. I experience this a lot as someone that worked in social media for like 5-6 years now. How do you protect your self-worth against that algorithm, right? Because, you know, you can get 2 to 3 million views on this video, and you're like, yes, I finally figured it out, and then the next like 30 barely cracked 1,000. So how do you protect your self-worth against the TikTok algorithm and Instagram algorithm?
Oh yeah, so protecting yourself from the algorithm and I guess fluctuations in terms of, I'd say also comments too, is really difficult, and something that I've struggled with early on as a content creator. I remember back in the early days, whenever I read a comment that was even somewhat negative, I would take it personally. And I remember people were like, oh, you can build a PC with better parts, or like this part's better, that part's better. And I remember back then I was like, well, I mean, this part could be better, but blah, blah, blah. And I realized that like attaching myself so much like emotionally to the algorithm and to comments was just detrimental to my mental health and to just daily life. And so one thing I've learned throughout the years is to detach yourself from, I guess, the content creation process. Not to make content that's robotic or repetitive, but in a sense that like your online persona is just like a character. And so whenever I meet people online too, or even meet people that watch my videos, they're like, oh, I thought you'd be more like energetic like you are in your videos. And it's like, well, in real life, like I'm kind of like a calmer, chill person. When I'm gaming, I'm really energetic. I'm like screaming, yelling. And then when I'm creating content, I get in that zone where I'm also like screaming and yelling. But I like to associate my online persona as like a character that I'm acting. And so whatever people comment that like this character is doing things that are weird, I'm like, okay, well, that's just the character that I'm stepping into. And so that's not Tony. Like, that's not who I actually am. And that's actually helped a ton when it comes to like the algorithm fluctuating. Cause it's like, oh, well, I can't really control that. Like I put myself out there, and the only thing I can focus on is consistency and quality of my content. And so if the piece of content doesn't get enough views, if it doesn't get enough comments, then just keep posting and keep going along with that. And if I get negativity, like that's just the character that I played at that moment. Like maybe my voice was too annoying to some people at that time or space, or maybe like I chose a different part that someone thought could have been better. But that was just what happened at that moment, and that doesn't reflect like who I am as a person.
I think that's there's a thing of like tough skin and working where your face is out there. You know, if you are able to like put your face behind like a persona or like a mask or not show your face at all, there's like that little boundary. But like when you have your face out there and then you get people saying stuff or insulting your looks or your appearance, stuff like that, it's like, dang, man, like I'm just trying to make a video here. You're really being rude to me. I really like that idea of like, you know what, that's just someone else that, you know, I'm putting out there. The other person that is completely I love that. I love that idea. I guess that leads into the next question is, I mean, there's people here that want to get into content, right? They want to make tech reviews or make videos in general and become a content creator and, you know, make that their full-time job. Do you have advice for those that are looking to enter into that idea? Like, you know, do you have to have this mentality or do you have to have a specific gear?
Yeah, so I think for people that want to get into content creation, I would recommend a few things. Well, first of all, for gear, you don't need to have fancy equipment. And I mean, I started with my friend's bridge camera that had like an all-in-one zoom lens, and let's see, it maxed out at like 1080p. We honestly would have been better off just filming on a phone at that point because like phones shot in 4K. But yeah, so I would recommend people starting out just film on your phone, master the basics of lighting, framing, as well as like hooks, keeping people engaged. Audio is super important too. If you're filming on your phone, if you do a voiceover or whatever, you might want to have an external microphone. And I think focusing on gear in the beginning stages is kind of natural because you think like, oh, you don't have the quality of your favorite content creators who've been in the space for years already. But I think one of the most important parts of the video is like the core message of the video. And so focusing on the visuals is like a sort of crutch that I feel like a lot of beginner content creators have, where it's like I can disguise a bad video with just a fancy camera and lighting. And so you want to focus on the fundamentals first and force yourself to be creative by using things that you already have at hand. And then once you like develop that traction and develop an audience, if you actually want to continue with creating content consistently in the future too, that's when you can think about investing in gear and other things. And in terms of other tips, if you are someone who is actually determined in being a content creator, know that you should obviously like go after it, try it at least once in your life if that's something that you want to do. And don't be discouraged by anything we say or anything other content creators say, but also be realistic in the sense that you will have to show your face out there, or at least your voice or some part of you in your content, and you will face criticism to the point of, like you said, Mike, of you'd have to develop thicker skin or separate yourself from the online like aspect. And I know plenty of people out there who are like, oh, I feel like I could create content, I could share this, but it's like you are if you're like really insecure about your looks or your voice, there could be a point where like maybe you're not cut out to be a content creator. And I know that sounds harsh, but if that's something that's really bothering to you, it's something that you're going to have to adjust to as a content creator, because it is really difficult to constantly be on point. And if like you're easily ticked off from it, then it's going to be very, very difficult. And so keeping that in mind, like if that doesn't bother you, and if the gear doesn't bother you, and if you can stay super consistent, which is incredibly important too, because you can post like once a year and you'll get likely nowhere. But if you post every single day and you increase the chances that people can actually see you, that brands can actually see your content and then reach out to you, then you increase the chances of actually succeeding as a content creator. And it's not an easy process. Like you might go through years and years of getting absolutely nowhere. But if it's something that you really want to do, that you see yourself doing, then I think it's absolutely worth trying.
I agree. You talked a little about that is, if you may not realize how hard, like people are like, oh yeah, it's such an easy job. And yes, it is an easier job than most, but there are still a lot of hardships that come with it. And a lot of people think like it's like a cushy job. It's a cushy thing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to put in work. I would like to ask you, what is your process when you make a video? And you can go as in depth as you want, but I want people here to know, like, it's not just, oh, I just click the record and I post. There's a lot of things that go into it. So if you can go through the process of like from concept, like a brand comes up to you, but like, hey, I want you to make a unboxing video of our product. How does that go from then to the published video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if a brand reaches out for a video, first of all, I'm going to vet the brand and make sure that the product is something that I actually align with, as well as my audience. If it's something that they could find useful or helpful, or at least learn something about. And so if the product is aligned with my audience and with my content style, then we'll go ahead and I'll check out the product, benchmark it, stress test it, depending on what it is, or actually try it out. And I don't really like to write scripts like line by line of everything I'm going to say, because I end up talking really robotic and I basically like lecturing the audience. I typically like to have like bullet points of main things that I like to hit on, and then like key specs. And so I like to have an outline ready. And if it's a short form video and I'm filming on my phone, I like to film directly on the TikTok app. And it just helps speed up the workflow. I know many creators, don't like using the TikTok app because it's a bit clunkier than like editing on a desktop with a keyboard and mouse. But it's helped speed up my workflow because I'm able to just pick up my phone, film the product, film myself talking about it, and then go back in, just like trim the clips a bit, add some captions. And so from start to finish for a TikTok video, if I'm filming on my phone, it takes about 30 to 60 minutes. So it's not too long. If it's a sponsored video, there are other elements that add into it, like obviously the outlining, the edits that I have to go back in and do and then send back to the brand. If it's a long form video, that takes a more structured approach. It's a lot harder to do long form like on the fly typically, unless you were like vlogging or doing that sort of on the fly content. But for long form, starts similar process with outlining, and then filming A-roll, which is like the talking head portions where I'm sitting down talking to a camera, maybe for like 8 to 10 minutes, sometimes even longer, and then filming the B-roll segments of testing out the products, putting my hands on it, benchmarking, stress testing. And the B-roll clips are like the clips that you see on top of the head portion. So it's like the product beauty shots. And so going into the editing timeline for long form is a much longer process. I use DaVinci Resolve to edit my content on long form. And I usually start with editing the A-roll clips of me talking. And so cutting out the ums and uhs, making the video flow smoother. If there's like a dead point where I'm talking really slowly, I like to cut that out to make the video more engaging. And then adding B-roll clips on top of that to make the video look nicer with product shots. And then posting it on YouTube, adding the description section, responding to comments. And from start to finish, YouTube video could take about 8 to 10 hours, sometimes even more, like multiple days for a more involved one.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it could. I think that's something that people don't realize. Like 8 to 10 hours, they're like, wait, for one video? You're like, yeah. Especially like like you did a video about our NZXT pre-built, right? The player 2, and you're like, hey, can you make a video? Actually, you know what? We could actually talk a little bit about that. Is a lot of people don't know how brands work, right? When they think of a video, like they see like your video of is a player 2 Prime PC worth it in 2026? They think, oh, we just sent you to PC, you make a video, done. there's a lot more that goes into it, right? There, like you said, you do research, and then you may have to like do a bunch of A-roll, and then maybe do some B-roll after that to like fill in the parts. So first of all, when a brand approaches you, like us, like NZXT, what's like the most important factor you consider before you take that partnership?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing that I consider before taking a partnership is definitely if this product actually aligns with my audience and with my goals too. So I've gotten wacky emails from brands like, "Oh, do you want to review this like makeup product?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I personally don't wear makeup, or this wouldn't align with my audience either." And so I wouldn't accept a deal like that, even if it paid a crazy amount. But I mean, I guess there are certain aspects where I would take a creative approach. If a brand reached out, for example, and wanted to promote tech inspired makeup, like I think at CES they had like smart nails, like smart color changing nails. And I personally wouldn't wear that, but for example, my girlfriend could. And so I could make a video like I put RGB on her nails, for example. And so that would be like one way to infuse my audience with a product that I otherwise wouldn't use. But so I think the most important thing for me is if I could actually make content on this.
That's a smart. Yeah, it's like if some sock company comes by to you, you probably like, I don't know if I should make a video about socks. But if, like a tech company comes by, you'd be like, well, my audience will probably understand that. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of people think like, oh yeah, I'll just take the first thing, and then that's it. Like, you can, but would your audience be okay with that? I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about. I also want to do a quick shout out that the 4 of your 5 most viewed videos on your YouTube channel involve an N60 product. Little tune our own horn right there. But we see that those are your most viewed videos, right? But how do you view a video to be successful? Is it the views? Is it the engagement? Or is there like something else that not many other people see?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of all factors like views, engagement, comments, likes, that sort of thing, and also the personal satisfaction factor of, did I enjoy making this video, and did I enjoy the process of like talking about this thing? And I personally get satisfaction out of videos even if they don't perform well, like they don't get many views or likes or comments, if I thoroughly enjoyed making that. And there have been videos where I've put my heart and soul into it and it gets, it doesn't get much traction. And other videos where I just flip the camera and just, oh my God, look at that. And like it gets a million views. And so like I get personal satisfaction out of both of them, I guess. It's a mixture of the vanity metrics as well as the actual process.
Actually, I had that wasn't a rapid fire, but since you kind of brought it up, I'll bring it out there right now. What was there a video that you put like the most time into and it just did not go well?
Yeah, this was back in 2024. My sister was using an older MacBook Pro, and she was helping me like cross post videos on other social media platforms. And she was instrumental in helping me like post YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. And so I wanted to surprise her with a new MacBook Pro, and she was studying at UCLA at that point, and I was in Davis, and so I bought a MacBook, and then I asked my friend if he would just like hold the camera and just come with me to LA to surprise her. So we had the MacBook, just flew to LA on a like random, I don't even know what day it was, like a Saturday or something. And I had a backpack with a MacBook in it and my camera gear. And my friend, he was like, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever flown without anything," because he didn't even have a backpack. And I was just like, "Okay, we're just gonna fly there and then fly back later that day." So we flew to LA, and I wanted to surprise my sister. I didn't know where she was because I had her location on Find My Friends, but I didn't know her schedule. I didn't even know which apartment building she lived in because I didn't help her move in that year. So I was like FaceTiming with my parents while we were on campus, and I was like, "Where does she live?" And they were like, "Oh, she's at that building," and I was like, "Okay, let's go." And I mean, looking back, I was like, "Dang, I could have been a complete like creep, like trying to find where she lived." But the fact that I looked like a college student like helped
That
out because I
help.
was asking other students too. I was like, "Oh, you know where this building is? Like, oh, can you point me there?" And so I tracked the location. She was at a specific building. And then I asked the receptionist, I was like, "Hey, I'm filming a video surprising my sister. Can you let me up to that floor?" And then she was like, like that's a safety concern. And I was like, well, that actually makes sense. And I didn't want to like ruin the surprise and text my sister like, "Hey, come down." Because I wanted to be like raw and genuine, like, "Oh my God, why the heck are you here?"
Yeah.
And so I like rode along with other people going up in the elevator. And then like we got out, we were walking through the halls, and she just like walked out of the bathroom and was like walking back through her room. And I just yelled her name, and she turned around. She's like, "What the heck?" And she just like happened to be in the hallway at the same time. So we didn't even have to knock on her room. And like I surprised her with the laptop. She loved it. It's helped a ton with her schoolwork as well as like helping me post content on YouTube and Instagram too. And I loved making that video. It was a ton of fun to edit on YouTube. It didn't do extremely well on YouTube. I don't remember exactly because but I got so much satisfaction from making that because it from start to finish, like everything just went super smoothly. And like looking back, it was executed so poorly because I could have planned it way better. I could have known like where she would have been at that time or moment. But I was just kind of like, let's just do it on a whim and let's see where it takes us. And yeah, I honestly just love how it turned out, even though it didn't blow up, by vanity metrics like standards.
I love that. I think that's like for me working my job, like my physical job, a lot of the numbers, got to get those numbers. You got to go viral, and
Hmm.
for me, it's like my thought process, like I always have to find something that gets the views, gets the engagement. But when you can do something where like, you know what, I'm going to do this for my sister. If I make a video out, it
Hmm.
goes great. If it doesn't, at least, your sister's happy. I
Yeah, yeah.
love that you had that, like, no matter what, it's always going to be something good.
Hmm. No,
Uh,
yeah, and
go for it.
oh, sorry, what was that?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, one other point too is like, I've seen people comment on like Mr. Beast videos or other, like surprising my friend, family member, whatever videos that like, oh, these videos are ingenuine because you're filming them for views or likes and like, sure, maybe a portion of it could be disingenuous, but I think like the most important part is not like the fact that they're creating content about it. I think it should be that they're doing a nice thing. And if they are doing a nice thing for the sake of views, I think it also inspires other people to do nice things as well. And so I personally don't see anything wrong with like, Mr. Beast planting trees for views.
Hmm.
I think it's a good cause. And if anything, like it inspires other people to plant other trees too. And so I personally was super satisfied with that video, and I wasn't made for the point of getting views. It was made because I figured I'd make content on it anyway, and so, but yeah.
I love that. So now we kind of talked a little bit of rapid fire. We're going to go ahead and go to the rapid fire version. So this is your time to you can say as much as you want or as little as you want. I'm going to throw in some just random questions. I have a ton of random ones. Like we'll start easy and it will kind of ease into it. Don't worry. We're not going straight off the bat. So don't worry too much about that. So we talked a little bit about a video that you put a ton of work on and didn't get super viral. What was a video that you did not expect to go viral, but it just did?
There was this one video on TikTok a few years ago. I think I built a PC, but I left the plastic film on the glass, and people were commenting to just peel it, like peel it off. And like my Asian tendencies, I'm like I kind of want to preserve like the the newness of it. And like it would be like a future video idea to just pull it off. And so someone commented, "Hey, just peel it." And so I peeled it, and then at the end I was like, "Look at this nice, clean, shiny glass." And then like I smacked my hand on it and I dragged my fingerprints, and that annoyed so many people. I didn't think it would. I knew it would do decently well. I didn't think it would do that well, and I think it got a few 100,000 views. Because it was just so rage baity and funny, and I'll probably recreate that video like sometime this weekend or yeah
Honestly, you
for a
should,
different
because
piece.
that would get people going. And that's actually one of our favorite things, is that like we do the smudging thing on purpose. Like we'll leave like a smudge on, and people are like, I hate this, and I'm like, I know you do. I know. Let's see. We'll start with some games. What games are you playing as of right now?
Yeah, so the new Battlefield, I've played a bit of that. I want to play more, for sure, whenever I do find the time. Let's see, a bit of Valorant. I suck at Valorant.
Oh,
I'm
me
like
too.
bronze. I'm
Me
like
too.
hard stuck bronze. But I want to get a little bit better in Valorant. Let's see what else. Occasionally Fortnite, but mostly just for benchmarking, like PCs, just for the sake of playing on that. And then I'm excited for the new Resident Evil game coming out later this month, I believe. That sounds interesting and fun, and I kind of like horror games and movies, so
What is one game you wish you could play for the first time again?
oh,
Like you wipe your memory.
okay. Wipe my memory and play this game for the first time. Probably COD Black Ops 3. I really like the zombies in that game and like the storyline, and like I'm a huge COD Zombies fan, and that game just scratched the itch in every single way. Like I love all the maps. It was super fun and engaging, and defeating zombies with fun weapons and creative stuff other than just basic guns. And then just the graphics on the game, I feel like were really nostalgic too for me.
Interesting. Uh, Hold on. I got a notification. I was banned from someone's chat. I went,
Oh,
what?
the heck?
I was like, you've been unbanned. I go, thank you. Okay, great. Let's see. Oh, do you believe in future proofing?
Future proofing like tech?
Yeah, like let's say you get a PC. Do you believe in future proofing?
I think you can future proof things to a certain extent, but eventually it's going to be outdated just because of how quickly tech evolves. And so I mean, I guess you could like max out your PC today with a Ryzen 9 9950 X3D and then throw in an RTX 5090. You could probably play like 4K games for the next maybe let's say 5 years or so. But eventually it's not going to be future proofed anymore just because of how games advance, how tech advances too. Like a 5090 today is probably going to be equivalent to, I don't know, an 8060. I
Mhm.
don't know. Like it's possible. And so you could future proof it as much as you want, but it can never really be completely future proofed, I think.
What is a common question you get in your DMs that you just want to answer now and never see again?
Oh, yeah. It's always a lot of free stuff. And to answer now, I would say join the NZXT Intel Club. They're doing giveaways every month, and it's a great way to get some free stuff.
There you go. That's how you do it. You send them to us to ask for free stuff.
Yeah.
Smart. I like that. What was the best tech item you've ever reviewed or unboxed?
Best tech item ever. Honestly, this is gonna let me think. Best tech item. Um, I've ever reviewed or unboxed. Let's get back to this one. Let me
Okay.
think about this one.
Okay. I like that. Let's see. What was the worst item you've ever reviewed or unboxed, if you can say it?
Oh, worst item? Well, I actually received a gaming chair back in 2020. That was like rusting at the frame. and
Ugh.
yeah, it was pretty bad. And I posted completely honestly about it to my audience. I was like, oh, this thing is rusting. I'm not saying every chair is gonna be rusted, but like this one
Mine
so
is.
bad. And yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think I can like promote this.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good. One high quality video or two never stop posting clips per day.
Ooh. I'd probably say never stop posting clips uh per day.
You either do two like simple clips versus one big one.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Uh,
that'd be more effective.
I think so too. More, it just keeps the algorithm going, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is your way to shout out some people. What is a dream collab you hope happens?
Ooh, dream collab. Let's see. I've always really liked Jay's Two Senses celebrity PC builds. I've always thought they were really cool. Like when he built a PC for Post Malone. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'd like to build a PC with like a celebrity one day, like like musician or an actor.
I like that. Are there any creators that inspire you?
Creators that inspire me, definitely. So I mentioned before earlier in the stream, Justin C and Marquez Brownlee. Those are two tech YouTubers I really like. Short form creators, Carter PCs, he posts consistently, like 4 times a day. Arky Technology, he's a UK tech creator. Let's see, The Poets. He posts a lot of PC build videos on short form, and he's very consistent too. And then let's see, there's a few other ones. KJO PCs. He's a funny guy too.
Yeah, the video of him putting his PC setup hung from the ceiling, it scarred me. Scarred me. I was like, "Oh, that's so good, but so terrible." I love that.
Mhm.
If you weren't doing tech reviews and you weren't doing content creation, what do you think you'd be doing?
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, actually, I didn't mention before I studied economics in college. I was actually on track to do computer engineering. And so I'd probably be doing something like that along the lines of computer hardware and software. And I guess just working that job.
Do you think which one do you like more? Do you think you would like being a software engineer more or what you're currently doing?
Probably what I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
I think it's so much more rewarding. And also more like multifaceted. I get to do multiple things, like create the content, edit, as well as like interact with my audience versus just one thing every day, like write lines of code.
Ooh, okay. If I am someone that has no idea what to look for in a PC, what are you going to advise? So if someone comes to your DMs like, hey, I want to buy a PC. I don't know what to do. What would you advise them to do? This is for people out there watching right now.
Yeah, so if you want to buy a PC and you have absolutely no clue, I'd say there are like 2 tracks you can do. And so one is if you want to learn everything about a PC, if you want to know how to build it, how to troubleshoot it yourself, if you run into issues, then absolutely go on YouTube, find some tutorials, learn how to build it yourself because it's not impossible. Like many people have done it. A lot of people say it's like akin to building adult Legos. You plug in cables and just drop stuff down. And so I would say learning it is very fulfilling too, because you get that sense of accomplishment. And then you could save money if you buy used parts or if you get deals on certain parts. Maybe not in this day and age with the RAM crisis and SSD getting more expensive as well as graphics cards. And then there's the other track of if you just want to game or you just want to edit videos or stream or create content or just do anything on a PC and you don't care about the tech. Because there are certainly people out there who just want to use a PC, but they don't care about the tools. And I mean, I was working with this brand a few years ago who they were sending over a product and they wanted like the video to focus more on like the story of the product than actually using it. And I was also throwing in like the tech, the specs and like and what the product is and stuff. And the brand rep was like, oh, well, maybe we should focus less on the tech because it's a tool and focus more on the story of the product. And I'm like, okay, well, I get that you want to focus on the story, but I make tech content. And so like I recognize that like not everyone likes the tech and the tools. And so if you're that kind of person, then just go out and buy a PC. Like do your research, check out the specs, find reviews on that, see if it's a good system, if it's like worth your money, and if it's cheaper than building it yourself, if it's worth the hassle that you save, if it's worth like the warranty and all that, then I mean, absolutely go ahead and buy from a reputable company like NZXT, for example.
I like that. I like that. I have a little plug in there. I like that. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting you to go there. I was like, yeah. Would you rather have one video get 10 million views and those people will never see your videos again?
Mhm.
Or you gain 5,000 loyal subscribers or followers and they'll watch you every single time that you post a video?
So instant virality or a follower base? I think I would definitely choose the 5,000 followers because I think having a more engaged audience is so much more valuable than being a flash in the pan. Because I mean, if you get millions of views and it's just a one-time thing, it's not really going to do much good other than bragging rights for like a week or so because people are just going to forget about it. And like brands are not going to reach out to you. You're not going to be able to create a career out of it. And it's not going to be fulfilling in the long run because you're not like keeping up with it.
I agree. And I think, imagine 5,000, like imagine a post that gets 5,000 comments every single time. Whew, whew, that would be amazing. Oh my gosh, I'd kill for 5,000 comments every video. And that's guaranteed 5,000. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah, brand, if we saw that happening, we'd be like, get me on that video ASAP, right? Would you rather have an extra arm or an extra leg?
Oh, extra arm or extra leg? Probably an extra arm. I think it'd be kind of useful to
think so too.
hold my phone while like my two hands are building a PC or whatever. And like every time I make a PC build video, if I'm trying to do it on the fly with my phone, people are always like, "Oh, just get a tripod." And I'm like, "I have tripods, like a few, but I want to make something that's like engaging that feels like you're actually like watching with me." And sure, like I could use Meta Ray-Bans and stuff, but it just looks really different.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, there's so much better with the phone quality versus like a little GoPro, right? Like you're gonna like a phone quality or like a nice DSLR. Gosh, like the quality's gonna be so much better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, would you rather have to record a video every single time you get a package, and that means any package, or never be allowed to film an unboxing again?
I would film an unboxing for every package.
Oh, that's so tough. That's like
Yeah, I mean-
every, like if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go on Amazon and buy me some, I don't know, some pants or something like that.
Yeah.
Boom, unboxing video.
I got some new deodorant.
Yeah, exactly. Like any little thing, you're just like, oh, well, I'm gotta make a video about it.
I think I'd take that over never having to do it.
I think I would too. Ooh, okay. Would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have it be perfect nutrition, or you only have to sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested?
Oh, this one's tough. Oh, anything? I think I would take the sleep. I would take 1 hour of sleep because you would get 23 hours in the day and then you'd feel fully rested. I'm already okay with eating healthy food. Like, of course, I occasionally like to treat myself, and I think the sleep would be so much more helpful.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't know what to do for the extra 7 hours a day, right? And you're fully rested too. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I feel good. I wouldn't need coffee. I won't need like any energy drinks. I'll just be like, I'm ready to go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
And for the final one, would you rather own a rhino the size of a hamster or a hamster the size of a rhino?
Oh. Let's see. Probably a hamster the size of a rhino. I feel like that would be so much more fun. And then potentially you could even like put a leash on it and ride it around, like ride a hamster.
Yeah, if
I don't
everyone in
know if it
chat's
would,
also
like,
agree with you too.
yeah, I don't know if you could like if you could tame it. Like what if it just bites you? Like how aggressive would it be if it knows it's bigger than you?
Hamsters are crazy, man. Like, have you ever seen them like climbing cages
Yeah.
and stuff? Imagine that, but
Yeah.
rhino sized. You could ride it. You could ride it though, and it's fast too. It's just scamping around.
Mhm.
A couple people in chat also said hamster the size of a rhino too, and I'm like,
Mhm.
it would be a gigantic dog / pig. That's true, actually. It is a hamster, but they can be kind of mean though with their little teeth and everything like that.
Yeah, I think an NZXT chinchilla size of a hamster, or a rhino would be better.
Ooh, I would love a rhino size NZXT chinchilla. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but oh, that sounds fun. That sounds terrible though. That face though. Oh, I actually never mind. I'm going back on it. I don't want to stare at that face. Oh, he is still here. I don't know if I want to see that face, like that stare every time, and that's bigger than you. Ooh. Oh, he is in the chat though. Alrighty. That's it on the questions. I'm going to do a quick couple announcements and I'll hand it back to you for some future announcements from your side. So for the announcements, we'll go through real quick. Our NZXT Intel Club has, we're both wearing the shirt right now. You can even see above Tony right now. They have the Chippy and Poochie plushes. You guys can go to nzxt.co/club, nzxt.co/club, or !club in chat. And then basically go, you guys sign up, participate in the community, earn Poochie points. And with those Poochie points, you guys can enter into the giveaways. The more points that you guys earn now, the more entries you get into the giveaway. So my advice, start now, so you get more points and you get more entries into the giveaway. For those that have a bunch of points right now, I'm working on a cool redesign. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. And for those that are global, I know we're stuck to the US right now. Tariffs and taxes are killing me right now. That usually wouldn't be happy because we were global before. I'm working on it, so please be patient. A second announcement that I have is we have a very special code going on. It's only for a very limited time. You guys get an extra $100 off a Player 2 Prime PC with this code word, Player 2 VIP, Player 2 VIP, all one word, all caps. If you guys type that into the checkout code at the checkout at the cart, you guys get an extra $100 off a Player 2 Prime PC, which actually Tony reviewed, which is pretty dope.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to hand it back to you. First of all, where can our listeners find you and your content online?
Yeah, you can find me on all major social media platforms: TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, even starting to do Facebook Reels.
Oh, how's that been going?
It's good for the moms and dads on Facebook.
The millennials and the boomers, man, they love that stuff. What is next for you? Do you have any exciting projects or content that you can reveal that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm working on a few fun PC builds. I want to do more wood themed PC builds too. I have I can't say too much about it, but I have like a small one and a big wood themed PC that I want to showcase, and then of course always a lot of creative and fun stuff too in the pipeline.
I like that. I guess we'll keep an eye out for you on our socials. I'll also put his social link in the chat for those that want to follow him. It's also in the Gleam too, so you guys probably already followed him. Do you have any final thoughts or messages you'd like to share with our community before I go ahead and we do the code word for the extra entries?
Yeah, I guess thoughts for the community. Good luck out there. The RAM and GPU and SSD crisis. It's basically an everything PC crisis. So, yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get your hardware. It might get worse in the future. We'll never know. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Just got to hope that it gets better soon. We really have to hope that it gets
better.
Because like for us here at NZXT, we're also feeling it too, guys. It's not just you guys. We're also feeling it. So we're working on it. We're trying our best to keep prices as low as possible, but it's tough. You're feeling it too, Tony. So I know it's rough.
Yeah.
So there is a giveaway that we're doing for your podcast. It's for Intel hoodie, shirt, and mouse pad. We actually have the Intel stuff in this corner. You guys can't see it. There's a special code word that gives them 1,000 extra entries into the giveaway. That's our way of saying thank you for joining. I would like to ask you what the code word you'd want it to be.
Oh, let's do toes. TOES.
Toes. Why toes?
I ordered, what was it? I ordered boba the other day with my cousins, and they had to like enter a name for the order, and they just put toes. And I was like, "Are you serious?" And then the servers were like, "Toes, your order's ready," and they were all giggling behind the counter. It was funny.
Okay. W word NZXT Chinchilla says that is actually the most unique code that we have gotten on this podcast so far. So you know what? I love that. I am updating the Gleam right now. So everyone, please refresh your Gleams. And the word toes is the code word. I love that. That was actually my favorite code word we've done so far. And I love that. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And remember, tune in live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the official NZXT Twitch. And don't forget to listen to previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And if you guys have any questions for us, you can email podcast@nzxt.com or tag @NZXT on social media platforms. Thank you, TonyTechBytes, for joining us here today. That was an awesome podcast. Please follow him on all social media platforms, and we'll see you guys later. Have a safe weekend, everyone, and have a fun, have a fun Super Bowl. And please stay safe.
Thank you.